A CD is a round, shiny disc. People use it to keep music, videos, or computer data. It looks simple, but inside it can hold a lot of information, like many books or songs. When you put a CD into a CD player, a small red light called a laser reads the data. Let's see how it really works. A CD has several layers. At the bottom, there is a clear plastic layer that holds the shape. On top of it, there is a thin, shiny metal layer made of aluminum. This shiny layer keeps the data. Then, there is a protective coat that saves it from dust and scratches. Sometimes a picture or label is printed on the very top. The laser in the CD player does not read the top. It shines from the bottom and goes through the clear plastic to reach the shiny layer inside. Inside the shiny layer, there are very small marks. These tiny marks are called pits, and the flat parts between them are called lands. The pits and lands are arranged in one long spiral line that starts from the middle and goes to the edge. If you could make that spiral straight, it would be a few kilometers long. Each pit or land means a 0 or 1, the way computers store data. All songs, pictures, or files on the CD are made from these zeros and ones. When the CD spins inside the player, a red laser beam shines on the spiral line. When the light hits a flat land, it bounces back strongly. When it hits a pit, the light bounces weakly. A tiny sensor inside the player watches how much light comes back. It turns the changes in light into zeros and ones. Then the player changes those zeros and ones into sound again. That's how you hear music from a CD. Sometimes CDs get scratched or dusty, but they usually still work. That's because CDs have a special system that fixes small mistakes. It's called error correction. The CD keeps extra copies of the data. If one part is hard to read, the CD player can guess what it should be using the extra bits. So your song plays smoothly even if there is a small scratch. When companies make CDs, they start with a big glass disc. A strong laser burns tiny pits into it to make a master copy. Then this master copy is used to press many other CDs. Just like stamping cookies with a mold, each new CD has the same pattern of pits. A shiny metal layer and plastic are added to protect the data. Now the CD is ready to be used. When you make your own CD at home, it works a bit differently. Recordable CDs, CDR, have a special colored dye layer instead of metal pits. When your computer's laser shines on the dye, it makes dark spots that act like pits. Once the laser makes these dark spots, they stay forever. That's why it's called burning a CD. The player reads those dark spots the same way it reads the metal pits. DVDs and Blu-rays are just like CDs, but better. They use smaller pits and a different color of laser. A DVD uses a red laser that can read more closely packed pits. A Blu-ray uses a blue laser that is even smaller and can read much more data. That's why a CD holds about 700 megabytes, a DVD holds 4.7 gigabytes, and a Blu-ray can hold 25 gigabytes or more. They all use the same idea, reading light reflections to get zeros and ones. Today, most people don't use CDs. We listen to music online and watch movies from the internet. But CDs were very important. They helped people move from tape recorders to computers. They were one of the first digital ways to save music and videos. Even if we don't use them now, the idea is still used in many new machines. A CD is a shiny disc that keeps data using small marks inside. A laser reads these marks by shining light and catching reflections. The CD player turns the light into sound or pictures. It can even fix small scratches by using smart math. That's how CDs store and play your favorite songs. CDs may be old now, but they helped start the digital world we live in today. They taught us how to use light to save information. Now we use the same idea in DVDs, Blu-rays, and even modern data centers. All of it began with a small shiny disc, the CD.